So what do you think Damascus is hoping to get out of this summit?
Good evening to you and to the viewers. The meeting is following an ACBA meeting, the second. Joined in rather meeting 18 foreign ministers, a number of international and regional institutions, top of which the LAS and the EU. The agenda tackled one issue, the situation in Syria, and how would the international community to assist and the deterioration of the situation following the Al-Assad fall. They agreed on several issues through 3 sessions on the level of all the foreign ministers. Tackled a set of resolution that would ease the transitional period in Syria, on top of which the sanction file in such a delicate time, as stated by the Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia, Faisal bin Farhan. And I think for the first time since the topple of Al-Assad is to form the new administration and to vitalize the stability in the region and assigned this administration to impose an integrated, comprehensive political process to participate all the Syrian factions and the effective powers in order to have a beginning of the participation of all the political powers in the future of Syria. And I think there is a consensus of all the giant countries participated in Riyadh to have an effective political settlement through a gathering Syrian conference, including the opposition and all party factions. And through this conference to come out with forming a transitional government, an issue, and forming a political committee to reformulate the constitutions, and I think that all tackled the resolution 2445 to the necessity for to settle the political life by the United Nations and to generate a new political term to tackle all the tackled issues. And Egypt's stance was very clear, asserted by Mr. Foreign Minister of Dr. Badr Abdelati to his counterpart, that they were all with the political settlement and strengthening, and not to leave Syria and a platform of terrorism, and the Cairo's assistance in the political process in Syria that gains all the satisfaction of the Syrian conflict, and to confront terrorism and to make Syria as a place for having the terrorists. And some of the countries offered to provide assistance financially, as Germany provided 50 or 60 million euros. Following the international community, that the positive steps being taken through the political settlement process by the participation of all the effective factors in Syria.
Now, one of the things that Syria will be looking for is a lifting of the sanctions. What do you think are the primary challenges to lifting those sanctions on Syria?
In fact, there are a set of internal challenges from the first place by controlling the security in Syria and launching a political process. And the new administration should be biased by the Syrian people of forming a transitional government to include all the parties. The government formed by Mohammed al-Bashir has already generated more concerns of the national political forces, even the opposition abroad, that this government of one spectrum do not represent all the spectrums of Syria. This was strengthened in the Al-Aqaba meeting and today's meeting in Riyadh, and to open the public way to participate through a multiple comprehensive process without any exclusion of all the Syrian parties. And I think the Syrian government, if they succeeded to implement a resolution to lay out a roadmap of the upcoming period, and I think if this would happen, would send a positive message for the international community that Syria is going on the right track, and hence all the United Nations, the regional and international power would cooperate to potential of lifting sanctions. And I think the ball now in the Syrian field of the Al-Shara to go in line with the UN resolution and to fulfill the aspiration of the Syrian people, and to play a great role of forming a technocrat or independent and transitional government that not to form an army based on a religious reference as happening now, that increased the concern of the European and the American, sending warns to the Syrian administration to reject including some religious or tourist elements into the national Syrian army. And if Al-Shara have succeeded in that matter, and I think this will in return receive positive steps, and any delay would make these sanctions to be extended, particularly that there are modern types of the sanction internationally, in addition to the Caesar Act that hinder the U.S. support of the Syrian state and imposing sanctions to some individuals and Syrian corporations for the Shara to go in the direct of getting an acceptance to address the demands of the international community and to create a way of political process to fulfill all the demands of the political settlements by the inclusion of all the parties in Syria.
Now, you mentioned Egypt a little while ago, and of course Badr Abdel Ati, the foreign minister, is there. What role would you think that Egypt might play in supporting Syria's peaceful political transition?
The terms of the different positions are clear, stipulated by the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as well as the Foreign Minister in several meetings, lately in Al-Aqaba meeting and today in Riyadh's meeting. There was a deliberation proposed by the Minister of Egypt, the Foreign Minister of Egypt, to have an orientation to by the new Syrian administration through comprehensive political process, by the pure Syrian participation by the Syrians themselves, and at a round table to gather all the political parties to tackle the future of Syria that should be inclusive and to help in drawing the future of Syria and to spare Syria to be a safe haven of the terrorist group, and to have a response of 2254 issued in 2015 regarding the peaceful settlement. And Egypt played a great role in paving the way and supporting the Syrian people as it pursued for the Syrian people to gain more wins, along with the international consensus with the administration of Syria to tackle all the issue lately, and to remove all the concern of the control in one religion's factions on the matter of the country. If this would happen, Egypt is ready to cooperate with regionally and internationally in supporting the Syrian people. Cairo lately have already sent food and aid shipments of 15 tons of urgent assistance, and Cairo will do the same and repeat it, but provided to have a green light in the tunnel for the new administration to fulfill the aspiration of their people, open positive channels and make Syria free and independent away of the intervention of the terrorist groups in order to make Syria more positive and strong as an added factor of the Arab League to maintain the sovereignty of Syria and the national security for the region, and not to make Syria a source of threat for the state to be a safe haven of terrorists that is totally rejected by Cairo through Riyadh's meeting.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to have to interrupt you there, but thank you very much, Mr. Ashraf Al-Ashry, the editorial director of Al-Ahram newspaper. Thank you very much